Hey guys, thank you for tuning in and welcome to tonight's review. We're going to be talking about the third studio album by Welsh pop punk band Neck Deep. This album is entitled The Peace and the Panic. And of course, this is the follow-up to 2015's Life's Not Out to Get You, an album that achieved a couple of things. For one, it just added to the absurdly long list of great albums that were released that calendar year, but it also launched the group's career, establishing them as genre leaders, earning them 2 headlining stints on Warped Tour, including this most recent one this past summer, and having the song Serpents, which is probably my favorite off that record, being featured on WWE's next Takeover series. This was just a great album for them. It was a career effort by them. So they're flirting with newfound expectations with the release of this new album, and the question is it better than Life's Not to Get You, or could it even land in the same ballpark? And to answer the latter question, Neck Deep mostly succeed in doing so. There's a lot of tracks here that call back to their previous album. There's a lot of tracks on here that recreate that vintage pop punk Neck Deep style that we're used to seeing, but at the same time, there's a lot of tracks that grow their sound and move them forward and create new opportunities for them. We got tracks like In Bloom that are very poppy and much more later in comparison to previous Neck Deep releases. There's a lot of glossy shimmer on the electric guitar. It's very pop oriented, and it's got a great vocals from Ben. Ben does another great job all throughout this album, even though he does have some shortcomings throughout the album, and it does show a new side of Neck Deep that we hadn't seen before. And then you get tracks like Parachute that has a kind of a boring chorus, to be honest. Ben sounds a bit disengaged on the chorus, and you got tracks like The Grand Illusion where it kind of has this like midpoint between classic Neck Deep or Life's Not to Get You Neck Deep, that standard, versus this more poppier version of them. But then you get tracks that call back to their last album, such as Happy Judgment Day, which was a great choice as a lead single, one of the best songs on this album. In Neck Deep, we're now talking about politics with this song and how the world is on fire. As Ben sings at the end of the chorus, I never thought I'd see the day when the world went up in flames. And it does provide a lot of great writing material. There's some pretty surprisingly decent lyrics all throughout this record. They do translate what's happened to them the last 2 years into writing material, such as Ben passing away, Ben's dad passing away. Oh my God, I can't even speak. I have so many ideas because I wrote a review on SputnikMusic.com. I'll link that in the description below. I'm trying to remember what I wrote in that review and translate it into spoken word, and I have so many ideas I want to run with, so I'm kind of tripping over my words, so please bear with me. But yeah, you get tracks like that. You get tracks like Where Do We Go When We Go that also bring back that vintage pop punk sound. You get tracks like Motion Sickness, which is another single and the song that opens up the album, that again harken back to this heavier, dare I say heavier, certainly meatier, more aggressive tone, which is what we like to see from Neck Deep, especially when you consider how great Life's Not Out to Get You was. You get tracks like Wish You Were Here, which is basically the December of this album, only the writing material is a lot more different. Ben isn't singing of a former muse this time around. He's singing of a nameless companion who has moved on, and he leaves the first half of the song open to your interpretation. You can dedicate it to whoever or whatever you'd like until he officially dedicates it to his late father at the end of the song. It's kind of cool, despite the wistful lyrics, to see a track mutate in real time from being open to your interpretation to having a specific devotion. Is actually kind of cool in my opinion. So that kind of gives it some elevated level of uniqueness despite the very woeful lyrical content. Yeah, a lot of increased melancholy lyrically all throughout this album, and there are a few low points where Ben sounds a bit disengaged. The instrumentals don't pop out with that spank and that grit to it like they did in the last album. But overall, this is a very solid release. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Neck Deep continue to grow, even if it isn't as good as Life's Not to Get You. But I have no complaints. I'll definitely be picking this album up, because it is a very solid album, don't get me wrong. Like I said, 4 out of 5 stars. Good job, Neck Deep. Keep moving forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Smack the like button if you did. Leave a comment, subscribe, and take care, and we'll see you next time.